rock music.
Yeah, got to play some classical. Like let's bring on some Mozart or Beethoven or
maybe something a little bit more gentle.
Something even more gentle than that.
You know, like violins and stuff, they sound a little harsh.
Would you like to have Nora Jones? I had Bulba singing Nora Jones on the way over here this morning.
Something like that would have been a really good lead-in. Just a really gentle hello. Well, we're back for some very intense non-ASMR Dota 2 casting. It's usually Toby's style. Yeah, it'll be a good game though.
Yeah, Newbie versus OG. I'm looking forward to this one. This is the the team which is still looking to prove itself. We had one of these teams earlier today already able to do that. Newbie, a team who has proved itself many, many times in the past, but now is kind of sitting there saying, hey, can we be stable? Like, are we good when SCCC has a bad game? Like, can we be better than that? I do actually kind of feel like well, SCCC is always a big highlight play for me. It's KP and his ability to perform. Yeah, that is where I always kind of lean my eyes to, because it's without his stun, without his initiation, everything else just doesn't seem to click.
I wouldn't even necessarily put it on single players. I think it's more of like a team-wide thing that sometimes they just get a little flustered. Like some of the games at Katowice that they had trouble with, they kind of got snowballed, and then things got out of hand, and all of a sudden everything was just over. I believe it was against EG maybe. There was one game where EG was like, I'm just going to go high ground, and they went high ground at 15 minutes or something. So I'm not sure what it is. Maybe they lose some games they shouldn't. They lost a game to Kingwin in a best-of-1 at the previous tournament. Now they're off to a good start, but they did get one of the easier opponents with Vega being their first round. So I think it is their tournament to prove. They won 2 tournaments ago. Last tournament they drop out early. I think they're looking for some consistency for sure to show like we're going to consistently be top 6 comfortably, and they haven't really proven that yet.
No. But this is the way they can do it. Of course, we look at critical players to help make this happen. Resolution from OG. He was their replacement for Anna after the International. SCCC, of course, being a huge star of the International as well as the team in general.
Yeah, both of these guys played amazing at TI. Made a lot of sense to grab Rezo as a player, but ever since then, OG has not been consistent. It's been a long time since TI now. We're only got 5 months left in the year. So, in the year starting in August, of course, the calendar year starting in TI.
We don't go by the normal calendar year or even the financial year. We go by the Dota year.
It's about TI for sure. But I would argue where Resolution has had some trouble fitting into the team, it's hard to say whether it's fully him or the team. But I'd say that SCCC has been extremely consistent always, even when Newbie are losing games, for sure. He always does well mid. It never feels like he has made a game-losing mistake to me. So in some ways, that matchup is interesting. It's kind of like, is Resolution going to be going to have a perfect game, or is he going to be slightly sloppy, or is Newbie as a team going to be perfect?
Yeah, I kind of wish it wasn't always just about that for OG. Like to actually have No-Tail back in the, you know what No-Tail always feels to me? Like, he feels like what TC used to represent. Hey, I'm Mr. Consistent, but I'm never really in the spotlight anymore. Where he always used to be with his Meepo play and his heavy micro skills.
But Meepo was a long time ago. Like, he's barely played Meepo. That's like a 4-year-old thing, I feel like. And either way, like, there's a lot more respect, I believe, going towards cores that do tank stuff. And I feel like OG was one of the first to do this. To make, like, it's kind of like the story of No-Tail and MP on Secret in that same time period. It's a player that's very talented, but they put him in these bad matchups, or they put a lot of focus around making the mid player good, for example. I feel like that's definitely an OG playstyle that's become very consistent now. You could say the same thing for Newbie. I mean, almost every top team right now, the mid player is their focus on the flashy guy that can go incredible, and the carries have to just win their lane, sort of.
Speaking of that guy, SCCC, the focused drafter. Actually, it's Faith who does the drafting.
But hey, let's just say SCC is the
he
team,
does everything for the team, right?
I mean, he's ultra talented, right? Top 3 mids in the world, maybe top 4, top 5, guaranteed. There's the best cook in the world. It's Gustav.
Bottom 5, guaranteed.
Bottom 5, what?
That was actually kind of weird, like when I saw that chef thing, because I ate at a Gordon Ramsay restaurant in London, literally the day before.
But was he there? Did you see him?
He was not there. He only owns the restaurant.
We've all
seen
the clips, though. There's Kaka, very talented support. Definitely, if you guys ever played Dota Fantasy, Kaka is like a guaranteed pick. He's consistently high earner on fantasy points, and that means that he's very good at Dota. That's like a guaranteed correlation here.
I earned a lot of points off Raven during
Raven
TI.
was also amazing this year for points,
Yeah.
A lot of good players to keep an eye out for. A lot of good players in this game, really. OG's opening here, or Spirit Bane, strong at lanes.
No Witch Doctor for Fly. Oh, what do we do? What do we do?
This is not very different from what OG played with previously. We do not see Witch Doctor ban in the first phase, which I find a little bit curious, because I do feel like it's one of Fly's best heroes, but they chose to let it go, feeling like Bane will do more, and I think that's a fair assumption. Yep. The benefits of Earth Spirit in the game they played yesterday was very much his ability to rotate rapidly to lanes, react to ganks, make things happen, and while still providing good team fight.
Yeah, he really did start enabling. Like, Jirax is one of these guys where, like, I kind of called it when we cast that game yesterday. Like, I want to see his ES. Like, I said that before we even got into the draft. And it's just because, like, it almost goes back to what PPD used to be saying. What did I say used to? I think he probably would still say it. Like, when he drafted for TI, it's like, I draft this stuff because it's comfortable for the players who want to play him. Like, they're going to get more achieved with these heroes they feel really secure on. So we get the ES. Now we have the Bane. He's really great in the meta currently. Just get heroes that start to sync with this. They won't get the Lifestealer or the Morphling. This is now banned out by Newbie. No DK, no Tide. That's taken out by OG. They're making sure there isn't a heavy push from Newbie with a lot of tankability. Something SEC's been doing a lot with the DK. And KP is just too easy on Tide.
I mean, KP's good at a lot of heroes, let's be real.
Yeah, he really is. I like his Centaur. Like, you asked for Centaur yesterday. Like, if you want to get a Centaur, KP you probably one of the players that would oblige.
It's just one of those heroes that I always think of when I think of offlane heroes that can set up ganks. Like, if you get a Blink Dagger on the hero, good things happen. Obviously, Sand King is by far the easier of the two heroes to grab right now in terms of his ability to farm, his survivability. It's like unmatched. It's probably one of the reasons Centaur is not picked. Why would you pick Centaur when you could pick Sand King? You know.
Yep. Why would you pick anything else for S4 apart from Brewmaster?
Which is interesting.
He plays this hero almost exclusively these days.
And yesterday they felt a little forced. I believe it was their last pick. It kind of felt like, Brew's good here, but he has seen some uptick in this tournament. Previous tournament, it was heavy losses. Now it seems passable. And against Gyrocopter, I think it's not bad either. He's less vulnerable to the whole magic burst because you can just pop your ultimate. And you can actually lock down Gyro heavily, like against a Gyro in the early game, get 6 on Brewmaster, rotate a hero or 2 in the lane, Gyro's going to die, for sure. So I think it's certainly a good option here. And then in the late game, you can just grab more armor on your spirits, grab a Vlad's, maybe Flat Cannon doesn't provide the easiest kill ever against them. It's a good solution.
Newbie's going to give us the Underlord for KP, a hero who yesterday was unkillable. He got both the Crimson Guard, the Piper, put Greaves up, and then just walked up and stood in front of the towers and said, "Come at me, bro."
It was against very different heroes, though.
It was.
So I think it'll be interesting to see how this works out. Brewmaster, I assume, can also dispel Crimson Guard. Actually, I'm not sure if you can dispel Crimson Guard buff or Pipe buff, but I feel like you probably can. Maybe we'll see that come out of S4. I mean, if you can multitask multiple beautiful dishes at the same time, I'm sure you can multitask 3 brews at the same time.
Wondering just how many jokes you're going to get out of that.
It's endless, dude. There's a lot of cooking in the world, you know.
I'm not quite certain if the joke is well done yet.
Okay. Wow, that's a sufferable or insufferable joke right there.
And that's the way we stop Kevin from doing the S4 cook jokes. I just have to take it one step too far, and he's done.
It in the wrong way. Yeah.
He's done.
You burned it.
Yeah. How do you actually feel the Underlord works in the lane, like up against the harassment of the Bane and the Earth Spirit? Obviously, not knowing the core who's going to be in there too.
I'd be more concerned for Underlord in the fact that they can chase very far between Nightmare. Brain Sap's a lot of damage. It's lots of slow between Earth Spirit, Orb of Venom, and Bane right clicks. I feel like he will be chaseable. Like, no matter what carry they grab, they should be able to deal with Underlord, is my thought. Doesn't have to be a Gyro, for example. So I feel like that gives OG a lot of options. Like, both of the 3 picks, Brewmaster is not necessarily the best 1v1 hero, but it gives you a lot of options. And it's very possible OD is going to be the response against Underlord.
They didn't even delay for the Nyx. It works both against the OD. Now I'm just waiting for the sniper ban.
I don't know if we'll...
The only reason I say this because it's kind of like what SECC goes to a hell of a lot. It's dangerous against the Brew and the ES rotation, so it's not that great, but it's good against the OD and lane.
Against like Earth Spirit Brew, it's definitely a little scary, but I know Newbie has drafted the hero in a matchup like that. They had a series against LGD that was incredible, where SCC went mid on Sniper. He was extremely ahead. He was something like 12-0-3. Had an amazing game. He went this cool like Mask of Madness into Daedalus build, and then he got Blink Dagger, and then they lost like 2 fights in a row, and the game was over. It was really weird. And they had the gold advantage, but they still died. They still lost. It was a little bizarre. But
they banned the Shadow Fiend instead.
Would have been a much more safe hero. Lots of damage, more survivability personally. Him buying a BKB doesn't still make him weak to physical. Like, it's just the safer hero to pick. if they would have grabbed it. So OG is looking for their carry potentially, or their mid, depending on where they want to put the OD. Historically, OD is very often against Underlord since high damage output. Would be pretty good with Bane as well. Free spell casts in the laning stage maybe. And then Newbie is looking for their mid hero as well. Unless they want to put Gyro there. So
yeah, they could.
It's going to be Newbie picking first. So they'll probably ban something to protect against what mid they're about to grab. And hopefully they get a good matchup there.
They'll probably give us more information too, right? But like it's against the mid, like the last person we're looking at right now is that safe lane. It's the no-tail hero for OG.
Potentially, unless it's OD.
Unless it's OD
and
safe.
Because it's an Underlord, it kind of looks like it's going to be an OD safe to me. Because they'll just put like Bane OD or Earth Spirit OD. That should be relatively safe. I think it's better to put Bane in the off lane, I guess. He's a much faster hero. He's like 20 movement speed faster. Has a ranged attack. Has more armor. Has Brain Sap. It feels like a better way to protect Brewmaster. But kind of depends. We'll see what they do.
Yeah. Newbie's got some extra time. Like right now they're working out both their ban and their pick, because it's OG who has the last roll of the dice. The last 5th pickup.
Is there no Razor ban?
Razor is not banned out.
It's very surprising. Still could be a Razor pick. It would be a little typical for what Chinese teams have been running consistently. They don't often shy off the meta too far, but I think it could work out here.
Do you think that'll work? Like after what we saw VGJ do with the Brewmaster, where they just basically removed one hero for the entire fight, sending him up. They banned the Terrorblade actually wasn't even banned at all. Okay, that's a nice one at the end, and it's Razor.
Yeah.
You hit the nail on the head, Purge.
Once I realized, I was like, what's a good laner? I was, Razor, and I checked the bans, not there. Okay. I mean, Terrorblade would have been really effective. Tons of range physical damage against both Gyro and Razor. Definitely could have worked out nicely. A little countered by Underlord slightly, but has so much damage, I don't even think it... You still overpower him, basically. So now OG's forced to go some other different way. And Newbie is really good at running at OG right now. Might be a little bit hard to fight.
So you want to look for some counter push that can actually come from your last hero here?
Team fight is usually pretty good. I always think of Tide. Pop Ravage, everybody stop moving for a second, but that's been banned. So
it's going to be Juggernaut.
So this instead will give them the benefit of a carry that can rotate for big kills. Omni Slash against Gyrocopter is very good. I mean, his ship is made out of wood. Come on, you can cut through that. Razor as well, kind of similar situation. You can Omni Slash him if he's solo, deal a lot of damage. They also have the benefit of OD to banish people that are kind of out of position, which is good. If you get Glimpse back, for example, you can banish the person and then buy them a couple seconds while you catch up. I think the Jug pick is potentially pretty good here. As long as the laning stage goes okay for him, he got outlaned last game and the previous match that we had. But I think this game he can certainly get some stuff done. He can also Jug spin to prevent Glimpse, so he doesn't necessarily have to buy a BKB. There's a lot of good things about the Jug pick here.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing like Resolution's timing and all of that, because like we had the exact matchup Disruptor versus Juggernaut in the last game, and he kept getting Glimpse back because he was spinning defensively inside the lane. But there are a lot of saves for OG. Like you got Astral, you got Nightmare, Jirax just by playing ES is a save hero.
He's very comfortable with the Blink Punch roll instantly. The faster you do that combo, the better. It makes your heroes a lot more survivable and likely to stay alive. So it will be a no-tail OD. Most likely in the safe lane. So.
No-tail OD, SCCC will be the Gyrocopter, which pushes Mugi into the Razor safe lane. So it's
really not that unexpected, I guess. Razor doesn't necessarily want to lane against OD as much as he'd love to sap his damage. Sometimes Gyro is a bigger threat because of Rocket Barrage. So that skill, man, it's good. Pretty cool draft. Nothing too weird.
Yeah.
But it's kind of cool to see OG solidifying the heroes they're comfortable with. May adjust their bans against them in the future.
Yeah.
But big match here. If you go 2-0, I dare say you have the easier opponents at the moment, because otherwise you got to play Liquid or VP potentially.
Would you say that too? When like EG seems to be playing well, look, VGJ seems to be playing really well.
Secret is 1-1 right now. Liquid is 1-1.
Yeah.
Virtus Pro plays LFY today. If they win that, they go 1-1. That's like 3 of the top 6 teams that are going to be in the middle of the pack. So. Like, I don't even know if winning here matters. It's more like you just want to win so you don't have to play those really good teams in the 1-on-1s right now. But there's also a lot of really good teams that are 2-0. EG, TNC, VGJ. Either way, it's a big match, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, so underway we go. And we will see how everything rolls out. KP is a long way down here, and I think this may actually be first blood. Rolling Boulder forward. No-Touch has to body block him, and there's nowhere for KP to go. They want to get the first blood to Resolution. They let the spin do the work as KP was trying to flank all the way around. Not exactly certain what his mission was, as he the observable was already planted, so he was just wrapping around to get information.
Yeah, I think information. Probably, I feel like the position that OG went there was a little bit abnormal, especially fully smoked. Normally, they don't go straight to your tower. I think that was kind of like a defensive smoke, hoping to find maybe Newbie doing something similar or find a solo hero. It could be something like they watch replays, and KP always walks that way. There's a lot of interesting things that could have happened.
Fly's going to back up. If Kaka wasn't there, he probably would have just nightmared KP and taken the rune. So this now means that OG, unless G-Rex is able to... Okay. Oh, Fade. He blocks the rolling boulder. Rocket Barrage damage and Thunder Strike damage. G-Rex is low. I don't think it is enough. SCCC does not miss uphill. And that'll be 2 runes and a counter kill for Newbie. Or 3 runes.
Yeah, they got 3. Kind of a weird mistake for Jerix, and like both teams left the bounty rune there. They're like, oh, I don't want it. No, I don't want it. It would have been amazing if he stole it, but Faith with a super sick play there to block the other bounty being stolen.
How to counter Enfeeble? Steal a large amount of damage. Top lane, G-Rex is getting up in the face of Faith again once more. He's got Observer and Sentry ready to go. But Faith's also got that D ward, so they'll watch G-Rex nice and close to try and work out where he does plant.
With the first blood, Rezo picks up a Wraithband, so it'll help his last hitting power regardless. Hasn't quite picked up a Quelling just yet, should be coming out now. So I think with that first blood and that Quelling, I think he'll be in a good place here against the Razor, especially with help from Fly. It's definitely a bit of an abnormal matchup. Normally, Jug would completely lose this if in a 1v1 situation.
Moogie just keeps stealing so much, like... Okay, stealing so much and then goes to -2 with Enfeeble.
Yeah, but Jug is making it work. Like, the Quelling Blade offsets the damage stolen from Static Link here. The Wraithband helps.
Yeah.
And in this 2v1, it's actually working out. So because of the hero matchups they have, I mean, ultimately the person that's losing the most is going to be No-Tail here. And that he has to lane against the Underlord and a support by himself, but he's made it work.
It looks like on bottom lane, KP is going to be left to go one-on-one with No-Tail. So Nyx Assassin on the way to mid. Good luck.
I don't think it'll be easy by any means. Like, he's...
GRX is also hovering around here. Like, the Dire, I think, got a vision for a moment of where he was. GRX is also being a little bit devious with his Observer Ward blocking. He could have, like, with his rotation timing, he could have actually body blocked that camp twice and not even committed the Observer Ward.
Could have been good. DD on the top rune, though. GRX can pick this up and gank mid. It's still going to be a little hard to land the rolling boulder, but if he does a lot of hits. Or he can go to the safe lane, or technically the Dire safe lane, that is.
Go after the Gyrocopter.
Certainly an option. He was having some trouble, though, as OD. Definitely having a tough lane here. Forced to last hit with just regular attacks. And he's actually just rushing Sage's Mask. That's really interesting. It's like the weirdest item build I've seen. But I think he does this because if he goes Null Talisman, that's just more mana that he's being burned by the Nyx Assassin. So he's chosen instead to just say, I just want more mana over time. Because if I'm in the safe lane, I'm not going to have that much anyways.
Rolling boulder. Oh, Kaka. GRX will connect into him. He was really going for Moogie. And that's a large amount of damage. 112 points of it stolen. So Moogie, one more attack will do the work.
I mean, GRX could get through here.
But GRX with the DE
so much.
Oh boy, he needs more life. No! He was turning for the kick to try and stop Moogie from hitting him, but the Plasma Field level 1 tilts him over the edge. And then close. A quick rotation up to top. Kaka wants to try and go for this lane.
It felt like GRX could have gotten that kill maybe, but he just needed a little bit more time and there's too much damage on Razor. Another skill rotation, he would have had that. So ultimately, better trade for a Newbie. Moogie's going to be pretty happy with that one. He's got a wand, a couple tangos. He'll heal back up just fine.
I cannot believe how hard KP is crushing this bottom lane. 20-8 versus the 6-0. Like, this is...
I mean, it helps a lot. He just got this free lane right at the start.
Rolling boulder. Kick's going to be there from GRX. Spin will begin on resolution, and Moogie's already back behind the tower. They do not like the look of this at all. Moogie, GRX can't outrun it. Moogie does all the damage, flies in the neighborhood. TP will begin. Nightmare's got to cancel this. It sounded like it was actually finishing.
No kidding.
It was so close, and Fly will get the kill onto Moogie.
I mean, I don't know, Jug finishes full Aqua before getting boots there. If he has boots, he gets the kill on the Razor most likely. Instead, it ends up being a death for Jerix, but he's got his boots finished now at least, and he was just really worried about last hitting power, armor, stuff like that, I guess. But maybe the wrong choice in items that led to that death not working. S4 getting glimpsed back on the top lane, looking in trouble. Yeah,
3 heroes right on top of him. Can't really get any kind of distance when the homing missile's right behind him. This bottom lane is just so bad for No-Tail. Like he burnt 3 Arcane Orbs when he had the 2 points up in the Essence Aura and didn't get a single proc.
It's tough.
And he just lost every bit of mana he had.
It's mostly okay though, because if he spends his mana pool, it sucks that he doesn't get any procs, but any int stolen gives him more last hitting power for the 60 seconds, or 80 seconds, it looks like. So steal 6, that's a little bit less mana for the Underlord, and maybe he gets more last hits himself.
KP might be regretting this. Actually, no, he didn't do the creep skip. Jirax was rotating down to the bot lane. Didn't really hide this. The Dire Observe ward from Newbie was watching it.
This early level and gold advantage for Underlord could become ridiculous. Because it's not the first time that we've seen KP difficult to kill as an Underlord.
Yeah. And he'll be that perfect frontline tank. And they've got so many great frontline tanks, but dealing with both Razor and a farmed up Underlord with the bonus damage he gets, S4 comes back once more. This chaos factor if the Brewmaster won't exist if he can't stay alive. Continues to run back. Fly's got nothing to give him. Not enough mana for anything.
Rocket Barrage continues to be amazing, guys.
It's like level 2 Enfeeble. Don't care, right?
Yeah, I mean,
level 2 Rocket Barrage.
He puts his damage down to nothing, but again, Rocket Barrage still does an amazing amount of damage. About 360 per skill use for 2 skill points. That's pretty good.
Yep. Here comes Jirax. Wants to slow him down. Resolution's on the way. He's a little bit more movement speed than what he's got to catch up to KP.
I mean, there's no reason for him to even bother wasting his mana here. He's going to need a lot of attacks to kill this guy between the Ring of Health and Stout Shield. So, and Jirax doesn't even have boots yet. He's got the gold. Hasn't had the chance to buy. And across the map, just really good last sitting for Newbie. But I guess OG's going to be pretty content as well. I guess they're not that far behind.
They got resolution at 38-7. Like the OG's been playing catch-up games now.
But so every core on Newbie's doing really well, and they're lacking one of those on OG.
Oh, it is just not S4's day. Nightmare keeps Six Assassin away from the instant stun. And S4, this time around, he'll have enough life to survive. And the bonus armor underneath the tower.
I think you can thank Fly for that one. 2 Enfeebles on 2 of their heroes. That means there's no follow-up after they use their skills, and yeah, he ends up staying alive.
Yep.
So they're definitely getting underfarmed on the OG side. Both the OD as well as the Brew are not having good net worths, but at least Jug is. So the game is slightly in Rezo's hands. If he has good rotations, if he gets Omni Slashes off on the right hero, it could catapult him, especially if they kill these high net worth heroes on the enemy team.
Yep. I'm looking for the target. Jirax is waiting to roll into mid. Already the spin from Resolution. Mugi burnt both Eye of the Storm and the Static Link, stealing 140 points of damage. I like Karka's position probably better than anything else. Up on top, the homing missile comes, and Fly. Oh, the Nightmare. I'm not quite certain that was the play. He had a level 2 glimpse available, and Brewmaster was almost in range.
Maybe just a mistake on Karka not canceling a stun or something. It's probably what happened. You get Nightmared halfway through, it'll still go through. You have to press S and choose a new target, something like that. So just a small mistake, I think. Kill doesn't work out. Bruce still getting levels, but I think Newbie's still happy. I guess their gold advantage is shrinking a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. Jirax and Fly can have a crack towards mid. Mugi defensively moving back.
And at this point, OD is really catching up now. He's at 31 last hits now. He's only 7 behind, 8 behind where KP is. And he's got 3 points, 4 points now in his orb. He's doing a lot of damage here.
Yeah, KP's going to be careful.
And even if he doesn't get a kill there, he's got 30 int now. Look at this. KP is so stupid right now. He has like 2 intelligence, 4 intelligence.
Oh, S4. It's just not his day. 16 one charges, which would have given him a fighting chance. And just before he hit level 6, Mugi, see if he has a fighting chance as, well, Jirax waits, kicks, rolling boulder. Support's there from Karka. He can't do much when Resolution is protected by the spin, but he's got no damage into the Omni Slash. Okay, then he has some damage. Negative 168 on Resolution. The TP support is being cancelled.
It's so cool to see this build on Bane. Like, he's basically accepting the fact that they're not going to be able to kill and outlane against Gyro, so instead he just enfeebles him all the time. That way Gyro's ability to last hit is reduced. He's only got 25 last hits right now, despite winning this lane. This is a 4-0 hero, and he's only got 25 last hits. He's got denies. He's got 16 whole denies, but that doesn't matter, right? That's a little bit of goal or a little bit of experience. Yep. So Bane just says, well, we're not going to win the lane. I'll just limit your ability to farm, and we're still going to be able to compete against you guys in the mid game as a result. It's a very cool build. He doesn't do any damage, but I mean, they're sort of doing okay in the lane. And they've got Brewmaster ulti. Here comes the rotation.
S4's being a lot more aggressive this time around. Going after Faith because he's got help. Jirax and Fly in the neighborhood. The Brewmaster split. They want STTC. Fly doesn't have any extra nuke damage through that brain sap, but it may not matter if they can keep STTC under control. No damage to fight back. Rocket Barrage gets tanked up by the Brewlings. So the Gyrocopter will die while Notel is on the run for his life on bottom, into the trees, staying out of the fog of war. And Kaka under the tower, flies there. The Enfeeble, oh no! KP reaches him with a level 4 Firestorm. It just had to click once onto him, and the OD falls. But Kaka, he was actually -60 to his 56 damage, so he actually did no damage with his attack.
Fireburn's just a little bit too much, and it's like Notel's shifting over, going to go for a Helm of the Dominator build. Not common on OD, but having some regen is definitely beneficial, especially because he's going to be taking a lot of mana burns throughout the game. We'll call down to clear the camp here. Newbie cleans up their stack, and Razor level 8, farming towards Drum, nothing out of order there. But I think OG is relatively happy with how they're doing. The last couple rotations have been to their benefit. Resolution getting a big Omni Slash kill in the mid lane, for example. Yasha is just about finished, and
glimpse. Nope.
They might be able to kill the KP here on bot lane.
Yeah, rolling boulder forward, KP. The kick will connect, and that's Notel with the orb.
Huge kill.
That actually gets him a little bit more of a catch-up. The other one was still the #1 net worth hero for Newbie. Notel is the bottom 3 for the cause.
Okay, he changed his mind. Looks like he's going to go Force Staff first instead of the Helm. Not a bad idea. So he kind of realizes at this point that he actually does a lot of damage to Underlord, and that some of the times the only difference between him getting a kill is movement speed or a Force Staff. So I think this is a good pickup option.
S4. TP out's going to be cancelled. So a lot of heroes up on top to fight.
I think that was supposed to be a heal, so he'll have to use Shrine instead, but it's not that bad.
TP's mid. Resolution was hoping for that kill on Moogie.
It's a good try. Needed to push him closer to the tower, and even then it would have been a difficult kill. Would have had to be Omni Slash into spin, but 1k advantage for Newbie now. Their advantage is kind of dropping a little. It's like to provide a solution, KP's going to go for a really fast Halberd. I've seen some games where that did a lot of work for them, actually. Just disable their opponents, prevent Notel from attacking at all. That's one solution. Especially against a Ranger, I think it lasts for like 4 seconds or something, 5 maybe.
As long as he can close the distance, which he's got enough life to at least do that.
Yeah, 5 whole seconds on range heroes. That's a really good item right now. Good against Jug too. So
maybe that's the point where Underlord's the one that S4 will have to prioritize when he splits. He's got the Blink Dagger on S4, 12 minutes in. Resolution, thanks to a double damage room, will really force the attention of Newbie to the mid.
Healing Ward down to allow him to tank the tower and just take it. And in the meantime, Newbie's still set up for potential lane defense and stuff. KP's pushing out bottom, but they can't do anything about this. They're definitely going to feel scared about taking team fights right now. The Brew advantage is so big if he does well enough. And the fast Blink Dagger is going to pay off for S4 if they can get a good fight.
Kaka stalking Notel. Stun and mana burn. A little bit of harassment, but at the same time, OG was already rotating bottom, looking for a kill. There's no Vendetta, there's only Spike Carapace, so no way for Kaka to really hide in S4. He even got the clamp up before the Spike Carapace. So that is one very dead hero, and TP out for Newbie.
It's a three levels deep rock, paper, scissors match right there. Kaka was ahead of him. Bought him some seconds. But
goodbye, Faith.
Nice kill. Ward in the jungle, and they get the spot out. Spin TP. No chance that Rezo dies here. Really good escape. And if they can kill Underlord as well.
No, you don't have the Fiend script for the control yet. Jirax, Fly, waited the perfect time. Got rooted, then TP'd.
They're just all over the map. Making Newbie have to rotate, react to things. I don't think Gyro's too unhappy because he loves farming in this place, but ultimately, OG is definitely playing with their food a little bit right now.
Newbie might be a little bit annoyed though. They didn't get the Observer Ward with their Sentry. So this actually, it's allowing Jirax to just stand close. The glimpse, well, TP won't complete when that happens.
That's a good try. I think he must have sidestepped the silence. We saw that yesterday where Jirax would silence a Disruptor and then roll away, but must have missed there. They do see the smoke under the ward though, so they will know the rotation is coming. They may react to this.
Yeah, they smoked instantly too, Newbie. Like, ES is down for 11 seconds, but this is enough of an opportunity.
It's going to be a little hard. OD has no mana right now. They're not really ready to fight.
Resolution broke the smoke on Faith. They'll come underneath the Observer and Sentry, putting down an extra Sentry to see Kaka.
Pays off.
Yeah.
They definitely need a little bit more before they're ready to fight. If they can catch Fly, it's not all bad, but they're kind of surrounded by towers. If there's buybacks and things.
Kaka's trying to get the right line. The wall is up. No tell, defensive imprisonment. I thought he was going to help his teammate.
It's really hard. He's only got level 1. The range is super low, 225 cast range.
Oh
Otherwise
yeah, that is pitiful. The trees were blocking it too much.
Damn trees.
It's that problem when you go for the 404.
Which makes complete sense for his build, right? Like he definitely had some nice kill potential, last hitting power kind of thing against Underlord.
Yeah. I see more and more safe lane ODs actually do that against these melee offlaners which keep coming out.
It's better. It's all about just right-clicking better, having more int stolen, and the more int you have, the more mana you have, which gives you higher chance of your mana coming back anyways before you run out of mana. It's just really beneficial.
Both teams are actually missing the D wards. The Observer from Newbee was planted closer towards the Ancients.
I feel like fight capability-wise, Newbee's still in an advantage here because they do have levels. We still don't have Fiend's Grip on Bane, for example. Definitely a big pickup to have, especially because all he does right now is level 1 Brain Sap, but they do still have the better team fight on OG's side.
It's like OG are very happy just to slow this game down. Like Resolution switched from building Mana Style into building the Battle Fury.
Okay.
So he went for the Yasha and then Demon Edge.
It's probably a good move. Mana Style is all agility as well. It gives you a lot of attack speed, but that's all reduced. All the agility damage is reduced by Underlord, so this will help him definitely split farm a little bit better. I think they're in a good enough position. He doesn't need an item that makes him really, really strong immediately. Battle Fury is going to be the right choice. Like it.
Smart TP's out here from OG. They're all just trying to bail out. I'll see Kaka come and steal the bounty room, but it's bottom lane where they want to fight. They want KP dead. They do not want this frontline tank to really come online. And it looks like KP's already leaving.
Yeah, it's way too dangerous for him. He's got some evasion, but against all these heroes, it's easy to kill him.
Do you actually stop this push then? Because like you got a catapult behind Resolution. There's a fresh creep wave coming in.
I mean, he can definitely stay. I mean, there's not a lot of way to catch him, right?
Yep.
So they can just try to defend against the other lanes. He stays bottom. It's always a split push opportunity. He doesn't have healing ward, but that's it. Jarex pulls the creep wave, so now Mugi has to feel like he has to tank this. Oh, they're taking Roshan in the meantime. This is actually so good by Newbie. Because OG's going to assume that they're all behind Razor, because Razor's been pushing this tower the whole time. He hasn't moved off at all.
This doesn't seem fast enough, though. Like, it's taking them such a long time.
But it's okay with their movements, with Mugi pushing mid like this and staying mid, and he's being protected by Faith for any potential wraparound. This is such a good move. They're getting two things at the same time, and OG's definitely be kicking themselves right now. That was really well played by Newbie. It's very ballsy play, but...
They run straight forward. No-Tell, Jirax and Fly all get hit by the plasma field. The imprisonment keeping Faith out of the engagement. Resolution still trying to take this tier 2 tower on bottom, and that's where KP jumps in, but it's OT. Pulled back into the storm wall. A quick kick. Jirax just tries to get Mugi away. No! What? How? What hit him?
So, he casted Plasma Field. It looked like the Plasma Field like stayed where it was cast despite the Boulder Smash, so it still caught Fly, is what it looked like.
Can we watch that one? Okay, production again in slow motion a little bit later on. But for now, we'll keep our eyes on the engagement. Because the Resolution on bottom
was so well done by both teams there. Like, they catch No-Tail, he has to banish the Disruptor. As soon as the Disruptor comes out, he gets silenced by Earth Spirit to prevent the glimpse back onto the OD. It was really well done, but unfortunately the silence ended too early. OD gets knocked back, perfect stuns. But ultimately, much better for Newbie. They get Aegis, they take the tier 1, they deal a lot of tier 2 tower damage. Yeah, they're gonna be happy. Here's a replay.
All right, so let's see it again.
There's the banish to prevent the overall glimpse, and OD setup. He's hiding in the trees so that the glimpse doesn't come out. Jerax drops the silence, but eventually it runs out. The Observer Ward or Hero Vision or something allows them to initiate on the OD. Guaranteed kill on him at this point.
It's the next part we want in slow. So this is the attack. Fly gets his one charges off. He attacks from Gyrocopter to push through, and well, we're back to the current mode, mainly because Brewmaster is initiated in. If we can go back and see that moment again anytime. Anyway. It's
very close.
Yeah.
It's a good play by Jerax, but it didn't work out. So now all of a sudden OG is losing a little bit of ground. The whole Aegis makes them team fighting very difficult with the Aegis on Gyrocopter.
Schmuck.
And some of their crucial items are up. Halberd is ready. BKB's almost up on Gyro, but he's okay with it not being there because they were able to steal the Roche. So now they're going to be looking to take a fight potentially.
They move north.
Rezo's positioning is very good. He's going to break the smoke a little early, I think.
Oh, no, he ran up.
Kaka's did
He
break.
ran north,
They may
so it'll be
realize.
no-tail instead. The one to be initiated on homing missile, defensive imprisonment. S4 does not have his ultimate available, and Resolution's already starting his TP. They let no-tail die. This, okay, Fly. He won't be able to TP out. Actually, he's got his TP available, but there's your glimpse. Nightmare's the disruptor, but it's all a little too late. So OG lose 2.
They were definitely thinking about fighting there, but ultimately they decided, okay, this is not going to go well. OD is banished. He's going to be ultied by the disruptor, and yeah, he's going to die. So, and they're still in Aegis anyways. Even if they try to take that fight, they've got to fight through Gyrocopter Aegis. They got to kill him twice, and they just don't have the damage for that unless OD's up through the fight to attack. And that's definitely one of the big lackings right now. Is that the OD's trajectory in terms of a farmed hero is not good. He's equal farm level of the Brewmaster. And Newbee's kind of just pulling ahead right now. That Aegis steal and that Roche steal was so ballsy, but it completely worked. And now they just have this big barrier where they can do whatever they want. OG has to dodge fights, and OG's forced to split push, and their heroes aren't even that amazing at it.
Yeah.
OD needed that Aegis, is essentially what happened.
So then he can actually stand in the next fight.
Yeah,
but
commit to fighting.
They still have a huge advantage, which comes through Resolution. Like, he's building into the mana style. This can be a lot more problematic. You'll have double ways to break the abilities of Newbie. The Battle Fury farm ensures that he'll remain at #1.
The only dangerous thing is really static link. If he gets his damage sapped, then he's going to have trouble in a long duration fight. But depending on how he initiates, maybe if he buys a Blink Dagger later, he can find a target, get a pick off that could translate really well. But it's going to start becoming difficult. Next Assassin's almost got his, actually does have his Yule's finish, just needs it delivered.
No-tail's dead.
We'll see. You never know. There's only 3 heroes surrounding him perfectly.
Yeah. And Kaka lands the stun. And they commit Storm.
Wait, he might live.
1 charges, forced up? No, but they make it a rebuttal. That's why KP trying to pull him back out. The Omni Slash damage, Kaka's so low, but Disruptor will be the trade.
Sure, Jarek's regretting his Boulder Smash, because he could have possibly separated those guys, gone for a double kill, but they do still get a kill out of it. It's an Omni Slash, it's expensive, but any kill that OG can get right now is a good benefit. Slight hero advantage that could translate into tactical advantage. Gyro's rotating over. He's still got Aegis here.
They're waiting to fight top. Bane's in the neighborhood. So yeah, as he said, Gyro's coming in. They need to bring in his damage. Fly should be able to stop this if you can see him. Resolution starts his TP out, and there's not enough physical to get Resolution.
Beats the healing ward, but does it just safely. Buys himself like 15% HP or something while he teleports. So he knows he's safe every time, at least until Gyro and Razor buy a lot of damage items, or unless Razor sapped a lot of damage. He's so safe doing this all game.
Yep.
Just no catch. So he's definitely the shining light for the team right now. Every kill that he gets, every time where there's downtime, he can rapidly kill creeps.
There's so much space too. Like you force the top lane, yeah, you feed the healing ward, but then he goes back to base, heals up, goes to the bottom lane, gets 4 range creeps out of all of this. S4 troublesome for him. There's no storm this time, so S4 can't get the Bruce off, and Jirax, a perfect double hit. They even keep the Fiend's grip on Mugi. Drop the hammer quickly, even though Spike Carapace causes a little bit of troubles. OG are here in force. SCCC, the flat cannon, is there to do a lot of damage to the rest of OG. So low on life. Finally, Faith will fall. As Fly breaks out of his own nightmare, blink out for S4, a 2-for-2 trade-off. Note that you did not have the Omni Knight involved in any of this. I mean, the Omni Knight, the Juggernaut involved in any of this.
Really good play by OG there. I thought that they were going to back out, but again, Earth Spirit is always there at the right time. Silences the heroes he needed to guarantee that Brewmaster gets his ulti off. There was no static storm. They were trying to hold it so they didn't have to use it, but that silence buys S4 the time to split. They pick off the Razor, the crucial follow-up. We'll see it as well here.
Yeah.
This is the follow-up. He uses him first, goes for the stun follow-up. They're going to try to save having to use... Actually, they didn't have static storm in this fight.
Yeah, they didn't. It was on cooldown.
So he gets the split off here. And SCC, just going back to the live games, able to get a pick off on S4 just now. Didn't catch that one, unfortunately.
But the trade-off is Resolution on the bottom. Adding more pressure, forcing both Faith and Mugi to TP in. And Jirax is ready to fight in the mid. Like, he's triggering Dust, looking for a hero.
Yeah, there's actually 3 Newbie heroes that are surrounded here. They're going to try to follow. KP does have his ultimate if needed, but OG doesn't quite spot them yet. Newbie's got better vision here, spotting out Jarex.
Yeah, there goes the Eul Scepter into the pit. 10-1 charges will not be enough to help him survive long enough to get the rest of OG over.
It's very cool how Nyx is doing these setup ganks. Just going invis, which provides him the Eul Scepter initiation, which guarantees a stun. Very cool. skill and mana expensive, but against heroes that are hard to catch, like Brewmaster as well as Earth Spirit, it guarantees a stun lands. There's no funny business that goes on.
Resolution new items are going to eventually arrive. He's looking for Butterfly and BKB. Make that Juggernaut all-powerful.
I mean, the items he has right now are great. Pushes the lane heavily, and then once it gets a little dangerous, mantas and lets the illusions push. It's very reminiscent of old Jug.
Newbie's coming through the bottom because their big hero, Master Mana's BKB for SCCC. Still got a couple of drum charges up his sleeve.
Huh. It's a late Mask of Madness pickup, but I think he's doing it because he wants more physical damage. It's a really good way to amplify that. I kind of feel like I would have preferred an Ags maybe, but Mask of Madness is kind of similar in that it increases your attack speed so much that you could potentially, in short periods of time, burst down somebody like Jug if he's spin TPing or against like an OD, for example. Definitely very good against like Brew Split as well. Imagine like Flat Cannon, Manta style, or Mask of Madness, and just instantly get your 9 flax off. Try to kill the Brew Split before.
Just no way S4 can really split in time, yeah.
Or even after he splits, for example.
Yeah, I'm thinking Delta Split.
Okay. Yeah.
Get away from the Flat Cannon effect. Notel's still getting some good farm. Like he's now above that of the Brewmaster. I'm not saying
that is not saying much, but
yeah, it's better than what he was before. Obviously, Juggernaut soaking up a hell of a lot across the map.
He's bought 2 Wraithbands now in OD.
Oh, the Yule Scepter. It was mid-rolling boulder. Jirax will be able to get a quick kickoff on the next assassin, so there was a little bit of funny business. Starts his TP out. Homing missiles coming, but Jirax's TP will complete.
Very smart TP. It's good. Yeah, they actually don't have that many stuns, right? It's just Glimpse and Nyx stuff and Homing Missile, but Homing Missile takes a long time to hit.
You do actually have like Pit of Malice as well.
It doesn't interrupt TPs, I don't believe, though. So
no.
I might be wrong on that, but I think it doesn't.
Top tier 1 tower. I don't think there's actually cancelled the TP on the second because it didn't with.
I feel like it doesn't, but again, might be wrong.
Resolution's got to get out of here right now. Kaka in through the rear. Here's your Yules again. They don't even wait it. They let the storm go. He tries to Manta jump out, but it will not work. 70 seconds without Resolution. He bought the Eagle Song just before that death.
Man, again, the Yule Scepter, providing them everything they need. There's no more dangerous skill shots with stuns. He just casts it, guarantees Static Storm, guarantees stuns, gives them everything they need. And a huge pickoff there for Newbie. Finally killing the top net worth in the game and the most farm tier on OG.
Jirax trying to cause some problems for KP and Faith.
Trying to panic push out lanes as fast as they can right now, considering that they got the Jug pickup. This gives them a moment to try to do some high ground pressure.
That's a big one. They got S4. Starts his TP, and yeah, you're right. No stun. Hit a Malice. Sorry.
And that actually cost them a little bit. That was a little bit of focus to try to get a pick off, but not able to secure it, which means that this Jug kill is kind of just led into nothing, just a little pressure.
But they can go for Roshan.
They definitely can.
They're back into the pit.
OG's getting close to this really good timing point. They've almost got their BKBs finished. OD's at 3K. The Brewmaster still needs a lot, about 2.5, but once they finish those BKBs, all the team fights are going to become a lot easier.
Juggernaut sub. This aggressive observer ward that Newbie put inside the Radiant base a long time ago is just seeing everything, so they know no one from OG is coming to contest Roshan.
Yeah, it definitely helps. Then the supports can go and do other things, for example. They don't have to stand nearby just in case. Super safe. Although this observer ward could be countered later on the cliff that Faith Press are put down. And they're going to get ready to push now. This is their opportunity to go high ground.
Yep, Aegis the Immortal in the hands of the Gyro. Just casual Morbid Mask now in the Gyrocopter.
So it's more like he was planning to make Butterfly anyways, probably. So he just made Mask of Madness in the meantime. He'll go Satanic later. Really good idea. Items. This is a perfect build against a hero like Jug, because he doesn't out DPS Jug in the long term, but if he goes something like Butterfly Satanic, it gives him some options against Jug, the superior right clicker.
He's also preparing himself, so he's got the Monkey King bar by the time the Butterfly is completed on the Juggernaut. Yeah. I don't know if he'll make that. I think Juggernaut will actually beat him to it. But it depends on the rate of this game. Yeah, all comes down to the next couple fights, really. Well, Juggernaut starts his spin TP. Get the hell away from that gank. Mugi's build not that weird either. Phase Drum, BKB. He picked up a Shiva's Guard, which is pretty normal, especially against a hero like Juggernaut and OD. Just reduce their damage, give himself some int. And then he's queuing up Ags afterwards. We'll see if that happens. So Jug could be caught here.
He did get spotted out, but it looks like Newbie's hesitating slightly. Maybe they want to...
Is that observer what? Like, if anyone dies here, it's probably going to be Fly, but they have an observer and sentry down, so if Kaka walks up the hill, OG's in a good position to fight. But it's KP that Jirax is just sitting on a hill, just overlooking.
They're thinking about fighting here, but the vision is very good for Newbie with this ward on the cliff here.
They're going to be able to get rid of... they actually get rid of the sentry. Right? Just the counter.
I'm sorry, these are Radiant ones now. I think they did. Okay, there was a sentry down, I saw.
Yeah.
So Newbie looking for openings, not able to find it just yet. KP's still trying to worry about split pushing here, but he can show up to the fight if needed. At some point.
They can always Dark Rift in.
And the crucial thing, OD giving up on the BKB, ends up finishing his Hurricane Pike, and now he's going to go for a Blink Dagger. So I guess he's hoping that an ally gets initiated on, then he can jump in and have some impact, but I'm a little unsure about this change here. I guess he'll farm faster, he'll do more damage, but like the story of the game, and feel like this happens semi-often on OD heroes. It's like they just get disabled and they don't do anything. So I'm a little worried for No-Tail in this way, but there are some benefits for sure. He can like Hurricane Pike the Razor, for example, interrupt the static link, and then the whole fight should be a little easier.
Yeah. Might be exactly what he's doing. With the Blink Dagger, the positioning of OD is going to be a hell of a lot better. And they may actually be able to get into ganks like this against Kaka if they only had the vision. Kaka's seeing so much information. It's the bottom lane where Jirax is just going against KP with the Juggernaut. He starts the Dark Rift out.
Just too many creeps there for them to Omni Slash. If they were able to do full Omni, maybe they can get that kill, but Kaka looking around. I don't think they have a gem yet, just some sentries and dust. They don't actually spot him. It's definitely a bad position to be in that you want to be able to get this easy kill, but they just don't have the vision advantage from winning the game so far, so they can't afford to get a gem. Kaka can basically do full Nexus and stuff.
Resolution finished up the Butterfly. Fly put down one of the Observer wards. Kaka, okay, just came out of Vendetta. Yield Scepter, follow-up stun. KP's here, he's going to bring in the deeps. Wow, Faith, I don't know if that was really necessary, but...
just safer, right? Don't let him mess around at all.
Yeah.
Guarantee the kill. It's semi-unlikely that they go for another kill anytime soon anyway. Stack Storm's only 80 seconds. Just get the kill, get the gold. Another 20 seconds that Bane is dead, even farther away from a gem, all that stuff.
Yeah, Resolution doesn't want to fight either. Like he's just disappeared up into the dire jungle.
Yeah.
Just rotate past the mid lane, keep the farm going.
It's the easiest way to do it. Cut the creep waves, kill neutrals when they're back, and
just wait out the Aegis the Immortal. Until it's left STCC's hands. No-Tail farming from the trees. Next we'll find him.
He's going to try to interrupt the teleport, I'm sure.
No-Tail probably feels like he's being massively stalked.
Does he? Probably.
Through the trees.
Kaka's been really good at this so far, just spotting the important heroes.
He's got 3 seconds to TP.
Oh, they scan as well. They know he's still here. He actually can't get out.
Oh, Kaka, does he see him? He sees him. Yield Scepter. They only needed half a second longer for No-Tail, but Kaka finds him in the corner. Defensive imprisonment will save him from the homing missile, and then a quick blink out if he's fast enough. Shiva's guard's there, and looks like SEC has the damage. And now Mugi goes towards Resolution with the static link. Okay, he's not doing jack.
Yeah, there was no escape anyways, because as soon as he comes out of Astral, you can use Spike Carapace to stun him instantly. They also had Shiva's to break it, Rocket Barrage. There was no escape there for No-Tail. He just needed to use a blink probably to get to trees deep where nobody could catch him in. Kaka doing the right thing, man. He's just making the plays here, finding all the solo heroes, giving his team time to show up. And I think the tough part is normally this doesn't work because your team is not having an overwhelming advantage. But man, when they're this far ahead, Nyx feels like such a strong hero.
There's the Aegis the Immortal gone. Time's out, but Newbie will still keep going with the high ground push. Fly is nearby, so you can at least enfeeble up STCC. I don't know if that's really going to be enough for him, though.
They're not doing that much tower damage, but, I mean, they still got 4 seconds until No-Tail's up. Are they going to back, though?
Well, they're getting more damage into KP, so they're getting him. Kaka. Visible underneath the tower, the glimpse. There's Yield Scepter to begin with. Jirax trying to create space. The pit did get planted. Nice double kick as No-Tail jumps forward and attacks a creep. That's what you do when you initiate into a fight. And then Hurricane Pike. He's building up that intel.
Okay, it's cooldown on Glimpse, so they're going to be okay.
Omni Slash. They're all so grouped up, Newbie. The damage being spilled out. They were protected by the Crimson Gun, but where's the support? No-Tail. He's going to wait out the BKBs before he drops down the Sandy. He's Eclipse Resolution. Needs more space. He's out. down for the count. So is NoTel. No buyback available. Juggernaut will burn his. S4's Chaos Creation was not enough. Jirax waiting for the right time, waiting for the kick to pull KP away. He can't stop out the pull. They do, however, get a 3-man kick, but there's no real follow-up. OG just don't have the players. They don't have the life. They don't have the deeps. KP's calling well played, but the game's not over just yet. No, it is. They're underneath the tier 4 towers. You can push Fly back into the fountain, but Newbie will have to dive in pretty damn deep. Moogie actually is pretty deep. A blink clap could slow him down, but SDCC doing too much work. Jirax will fall, and without their 2 big cores, OG, they will lose at least 2 lanes of racks.
Yeah, they had a good attempt, sort of, but OG kind of, they just kind of miscoordinated how they defended against that. NoTel blinks forward, looks for like the Hurricane Pike, but is out of range and is forced to retreat. The only thing saving them there is they didn't have Glimpse yet. And then Resolution kind of going in when his team wasn't really ready either. The Omni Slash felt very weird. Like, he's got Battle Fury, so he's dealing some damage there, but the initiation just kind of guaranteed his death. He buys back and tries to run back in and be effective, but the Static Storm from Disruptor also guarantees that he doesn't do that much damage ultimately.
I feel it's that influence of like the Underlord we've seen like yesterday and now again today from Newbie. Like KP just pops the Crimson Guard. So you want to attack, that's great. Anyone wants to get in close, you can't even escape because the Shiva's Guard goes off. Or you don't want to spin because he's going to have Heaven's Halberd you. Like,
totally agree that it's effective, but ultimately it's about when they go in. And OG was on different pages, and OD never became a hero that was a really big threat. It feels like if he's playing from behind, he is not a very good hero as long as your opponents continue to pressure him. And some of those crucial pickoffs that Nyx Assassin did made the game a little bit more straightforward. And Newbie just got this overwhelming gold advantage, Roche after Roche after Roche. And it all came down to maybe that first part of the game where the Roche was stolen or taken in a smart way that also tricked OG to not expect it. So, yeah.
Man, so you had a game where KP was pretty hard to kill. Mookie had a really good start, and SCCC, like the gyrocopter for Newbie, 17-1-5 at the end of all of this. Almost cracked the 300 last hit mark, but involved in so many kills as well. It was just a dream game for Newbie.
Yeah, Gyro was definitely one of the big heroes of the last tournament, but he wasn't really seen as the best hero, and I feel like he's kind of at that moment right now. The amount of amazing performances we're seeing out of Gyro is great. Kaka played amazing, though. I think if I had to say MVP, I'd probably say Kaka, considering how much tempo he set, finding kills like these ones with the Yule Scepter combos, finding crucial core kills. I mean, NoTel definitely had a tough game, though. BKB alone, I don't even know if that solves the problem. Just felt a little hard to teamfight for OG. They never really got online to the point where they felt comfortable taking fights, and the times they did, Newbie always had Aegises and split pushing and stuff like that.
Yeah, always playing that catch-up game, but it just seemed like the simplest combination ever. I Yules, I stun, Faith is there, he storms, there's no way to escape. And you start listing off every single thing that would have cancelled the Blink Dagger from the OD, and it's like, well, okay, that's great, but it's still crap tons of damage. And this is where it all just ended. Then Omni Slash in, Newbie as one back up, and then trigger the BKBs. There's never a chance. All that stolen intelligence can't be used for anything because they're immune. And Newbie get the stuns. Great coordination. We expect nothing less from them.
Yeah, basically he needs BKB, maybe a little bit of a level advantage. I mean, Resolution went in there, and they're trying to make this fight work at this point because Bruce Split was used, and they knew this was their chance. I mean, or they can maybe sit back with their buybacks, let them take one racks, maybe re-engage, but likely that wasn't going to work out either. Maybe Fly didn't transition as well with his skill build, perhaps. Maybe he needed more brain sap. Like, it felt like OG never really ganked or had the ability to gank the map as well. Perhaps that's a map vision issue. Maybe it's the fact that they had Nyx Assassin do really well, and he was constantly looking for kills, and OG couldn't afford a gem, really. There's like a lot of things that possibly snowballed here to give OG a bigger deficit than they thought they had. It's a tough game. Really tough game for OG. They did okay. They had some potential to come back in the game, but it felt like Newbie was firmly in control ever since the 15-minute mark. Yeah,
it really was. Like, they all came online, all the damage was there, and OG just no real response, no chaos from S4. Like, Resolution, there's only so much he can do as that Juggernaut, as we also had proved in the game before this one. Like, you can have all the farm in the world, but if there's just that much physical damage...
He did a lot better. I wouldn't say it was like that. Like, he did way better. Reso's game on Juggernaut here was definitely much more in striking distance than Aces was with the heroes he was up against, and he did have some good rotations, and he did buy the right items, I think. It's just, it was they never got close enough in team fights to win them, and if you're playing against an Underlord, it's the same thing. Your damage is being reduced, and in some ways, Butterfly was the wrong item. Because again, that's more agility that you're buying that's reduced by the Underlord aura. I think the old build, when Underlord first came out and was really effective against Jug, people would go Mouse or Mjolnir, third item, because then at least you're doing magic damage, and that's being cleaved. If anything, that would have been far better as an item. More attack speed, magic damage.
I think the MKB as well from SCCC came out like 1-2 minutes after. Like I was like, oh, maybe it's gonna be a little bit longer. But the fact that Newbie were just moving ahead so quickly and getting so many kills like that, but the gap for counter items just came so quickly.
Yeah, and if you go to Mjolnir, they have BKBs anyways. So I don't know. It's a very hard game in a lot of ways. But for MVP, I still think it was Kako myself.
Well,
I think that's
production agrees with you.
I think it was Kaka. Like, SCC put up some amazing numbers, and I definitely feel like he played incredible. He was at all the ganks. He made stuff happen, but Kaka was the initiator in almost all these cases. It's very easy to say, like, man, he played Gyro the way you're supposed to when he has 17, 1, and 5 KDA, but Kaka was there to set up the kills. He went a little bit of a different item build. He used Yules the most offensively I've seen in a long time from a support. It felt like the core item this game. It was just perfect. All these heroes that can get away easy. It set up a disruptor kill on a Jug that would have been nearly impossible otherwise. It would have had to be like Nyx stun into something else. Just great itemization, solid play. 1, 2, and 20 on Nyx Assassin.
Terrific performance from Newbie. Of course, that now secures themselves a space in the round 3 high bracket, which means they'll be going in with TNC, EG, and VGJ Thunder.
Yeah.
They're going to be your top 4, the teams who actually end up having a 1-1 result. Optic, Liquid, Secret, and OG. They're going to be in a pool with another couple of teams. Complexity, Complexity won their game against Mineski earlier today. There's another 3 games to go to work out who will be the other 3 joining that mid-level area and who's playing the first elimination games because they begin tomorrow as well. So far, Mineski is in there for the elimination games, but there's 3 more teams that will join them. So
that's a hard opponent, too. Mineski is not a bad team. They're just having some issues. I guess losing to Cole is maybe something that'll be disappointing to them. Their TNC game was pretty close, but I mean, there's still a lot of good matches left today.
Do we do predictions for who actually ends up in the elimination games for this? So LF5 versus VP.
That's tomorrow. Well, okay. So we're basically saying what teams are going to go 0-2 today.
Yeah. Which teams go 0-2? So we already
I'm
have
going to have to see the
O2.
schedule. I think that would help the most because that way we can look at what matches are remaining.
Fantastic. So we should begin with LF5 versus Virtus Pro. Will be the first game.
I mean, it's really hard not to say Virtus Pro there, considering how dominant.
Really?
that win that. Excuse me. Not that the ones that
I'm
go
say, like, VP going 0-2. Holy crap, Kevin.
You never know. LGD is it's a very good team, or LFY, I should say.
I think the second matchup will probably be the harder one to pick, which is the Na'Vi versus Vega.
I still feel like Na'Vi has the upper hand there decisively, personally. I feel like Vega is not. I think Na'Vi is approaching. I think they have the potential to be a tier 1.5 team. Is easy to say. I don't think they're there yet, but I think they're a lot closer than Vega is at the moment. I will concur with that one. So we'd say VP would win, Na'Vi would win, and then the last game, I think I'm going to go with VG Gaming on this one against Pain. So? It's kind of a rough run for Pain, but VG Gaming would be the obvious. Definitely tough for VG Gaming having to play EG and VG, but I think Pain Gaming is very likely other 0-2. But could be upsets. You never know. It's a best of 1.
It is a best of 1.
Historically, South America versus China is an upset potential haven, I think. Especially because their drafts can be a little bit predictable sometimes. Maybe grab some good lanes, maybe somehow turn that in. But Vici Gaming looked really good at the last tournament. They played amazing until the grand finals. Yeah, and they did have a, like, obviously they're down there for a good reason. Like, they got knocked out by VGJ. But VGJ, as we've just seen, like, really good performances against Team Secret. So I don't think VG will be very upset the fact that we were knocked down by our sister team, like when that kind of stuff happens. But what's so crazy is that, again, the 1-1s right now are really terrifying looking. Like, there is some potential tournament upset stuff where we're going to see some teams that are very good go out of the tournament a little earlier than we expected, based on the fact that there were some Imagine if we actually sit there and like we have upset wins all throughout the day, and then you have like Na'Vi, Mineski, VP, and VG all in the elimination games for the first round. It's kind of crazy. It's really stacked. Like, there's a couple teams that went 2-0 already, that teams were not VGJ Thunder, TNC. Those are the two teams that people did not expect to be in the 2-0s, and that pushed a lot of teams that they beat into the 1-1s.
Yep.
I mean, Cole getting an upset win against VP, or Optic, excuse me, getting an upset win against VP.
Yep.
It's going to be a crazy, crazy day tomorrow.
Everything is starting to bounce around. Like tomorrow, as well as the final games for today, I cannot wait to actually see these things. And so much on the line too. 8 teams get eliminated during this group stage area. Only 8 teams, obviously. 8 minus 16. 8 from 16 is 8. That's all that reaches the playoffs. And yeah, you know what? Maths, I'm just so good. Yeah,
wow.
You work out the exact amount of mana that ET requires to let his Earth Splitter go off with a refresher
It is
orb.
pretty tough to do 375 plus 225 times 2.
I'm sorry. It was all Greek to me right there. No.
It was this whole mana pool. It was okay. But have some really good matches coming up soon. I'm excited for them. There could be some upsets. If there are, we're going to see even crazier stuff going on in 1-1s tomorrow. But it's been a good tournament so far. I love Swiss personally. I really like watching Swiss. Can't wait to see who Slacks pulls out of a hat tomorrow as well. Or tonight. That'll be the big one.
Yeah, I want to see if we get like even the matchup. Like EG is looking pretty good right now when they beat out Liquid. But to have like EG versus Newbie, we bring this type of matchup back. I think VGJ versus TNC. Like, any of these matchups would be fantastic to watch.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah,
it'll be good.
And then to see where Complexity end up with all of this. I'd feel really sorry for Complexity after they have their run. Yeah, they got knocked down because they battled against Team Secret. Then they won over Medeski, and then they'll be like, and now you got to go up against Liquid. Like, their poor run.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The 1-1s are crazy, but I feel like we should probably get out of here, go to a break here.
I think we could do that.
Coming.
I was waiting for production to give
someone
me the
else.
go.
We should let somebody else talk for once. It's time.
I disagree with this, but we'll do it anyway. Thanks very much. We're Perch and I done for the day, but we'll have more casters back here, of course, Red Eye.